8:39, good morning. I'm Mark Caesar with Ed Clements and Sergeant Sam on Austin's Morning News. Heather Liggett is joining us live now on KLBJ. Heather, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Good.
well, thank you. We wanted to visit with you because this morning's New York Times is giving you credit for instigating, for being the catalyst for what Congressman Lloyd Doggett has described as that mob of destructive people who showed up at Randall's on Saturday. Are you the one?
It was a grassroots effort. I happened to be the person that got an email from a mole. And
A mole?
Started, a mole, yeah, exactly.
Insider.
Exactly. And I sent it out to members in my meetup group, and it just kind of dominoed from there. I didn't coordinate anything. I wasn't the instigator. Other people got the information and sent it to me, and I sent it on, and it just became a domino effect and kept on going.
How big is your list, Heather, of people you sent it to?
I'm sorry?
How big is your list of people that you alerted about this?
You know, my list is only about 250 people, but in my meetup group, I have leaders of several different groups here, and so we can get it out to 3,000 to 5,000 people before we even need to bring anybody else in.
Who are some of those groups?
We've got the 25th District. Dean Wright is one of them. There's Katie Brewer and Paul Davis, as well as Mike Beret, and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Their Campaign for Liberty people. And there's
That's
several
right.
of the 912 groups.
Okay.
We got the point. What did you encourage people to do once they showed up at Randall's?
I didn't encourage them to do anything. As I've said with the Tea Party that we did at the Capitol on July 4th is be respectful, keep it clean because these are family events, and just make sure that our voice is heard because Doggett obviously is not getting the point.
Well, and I have nothing, if they can bring busloads of people in from out of town, as far as a lot of your fringe, what I call radical liberal groups go, and that's just fine. But if you send an email around to local people, that's a mob.
And you didn't tell him
Exactly.
to shout him. You said he's going to be there. None of this, be a mob, shout him down, harass, anything like that, right? None of that.
No, and I was there. He wasn't shouted down. He was able to speak. And yes, we were shouting from the crowd when, he started telling lies and we didn't like what he was saying. But he was not shouted down until the very end. And that video clip that's been put up on YouTube was at the very end when he was asked, seeing as how 90% of us here are against United Healthcare, we are the constituents that you represent, are you going to change your vote? And he said no. And that's when the Just Say No chant started, and he was followed out to his car with the Just Say No chant.
Some listeners who say they were there on Saturday indicated that he got to speak and exchange thoughts with the group for about 45 minutes, and then at that point, so is that accurate?
Yeah. Yes, he left early. He was supposed to be there till 12:30, and he tucked his tail and left early because he was not listening to what his constituents wanted. He was still going to stick with the Obamacare and vote with his party versus represent the people of the 25th District of Texas.
And we've also heard from other listeners who say, I got a postcard from him inviting me to come out to Randall's.
Yep, that's one of the ways that we found out, correct. He also put it in the Slaughter Creek Reporter. I think that's a free newspaper down there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen his comment in the New York Times describing the YouTube video, saying you can see in the edge of the video that beautiful marble tombstone with my name on it?
I have seen. I've seen his comments in the New York Times. Yes.
Did you see that when you were out there at Randall's? Did you see the marble tombstone with his name on it?
I didn't see the tombstone. I did see the sign with the red devil horn.
I saw the devil horn. Yeah, that was on YouTube. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny,
Pretty
too.
funny.
I mean, they did much worse to President Bush, so I don't understand what the problem is.
Isn't that something? Talk about people that tried to make Bush into an absolute demon and villain.
Yeah.
But that was okay.
Yep.
But if you do that to a Democrat, you've gone over the top. You've gone way beyond what you should.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Double standard.
If you can dish it out, you need to be able to take it.
That's right.
Have you learned anything from all this?
I guess the only thing that I've learned is if there's this much ruckus over a meetup group and what they can do at a parking lot in a Randall's in Austin, Texas, then we're making an impact and we need to keep doing it.
Heather, is there anybody going to step forward from your group or groups that will challenge Lloyd Doggett in 2010?
Oh, absolutely. There are two candidates that we're looking at. They're going around. They're being interviewed that can give Lloyd Doggett a run for his money, and I definitely think this is the time to do it. People are upset with what the Democrats are doing and the fact that Lloyd Doggett refuses to listen to the majority of his constituents.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be Republicans, independents, libertarians?
I'm not sure about any of the libertarian or independent groups, but I do know that there are two candidates out there for the Republicans.
Okay.
Heather, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate the update.
Sure, thank you.
Have a
up
nice
the good
day.
work.
Thank you very much. Heather Liggett of Austin. And we'll get back to open phones coming up just ahead.
She sure doesn't sound like a mob organizer to me.
No. Keep up the good work. That's all I can say. It's just people that are
Didn't
really,
strike me as a mob organizer.
Not a lunatic.
No,
Not a lunatic teabagger.
No.
That's the way those folks are now being described. Teabaggers, members of the lunatic fringe,
Do you realize
birthers.
Hey, I know some lunatic fringe, and that group wasn't lunatic fringe.
8:45.